So hi guys, welcome to episode 10, back in my room, and I just wanted to share a thing that happened yesterday that I think many of you guys will maybe relate to, hopefully. It was a moment when I was staring at the cereal aisle in Target, because I was about to run out of the cereal that was my challenge, of course, from last week, and I really liked it. Initially it was just supposed to be mixed in with yogurt, but then I started having it with milk. And oh my gosh, such a pleasure that I thought I would never have again in my life about 2 years ago. So anyway, I was trying to pick up the replacement for the one I had, and I was of course staring at that cereal aisle for like 20 minutes when I had budgeted this to be a quick in and out, because initially I was thinking about just replacing the one I had, and I had like the normal size, but the store that I went to only had the family size of that, which I didn't want to buy, and also it was more expensive because I went to a Target because that was actually on my way, whereas the grocery store would have been like a detour. So this was meant to save time, but then I was like, okay, but maybe I should try a different cereal, and part of me wanted to do like the Cheerios multigrain healthy one, which I know I'm not supposed to do, but part of me was also like, I do kind of want to prioritize more like whole, earthy, grainy foods. I don't know whether that makes any sense. Like, that is something that I genuinely now am craving. Like, I never thought I would, but like that is now something that seems really appealing to me. And then part of me also was like, oh, but maybe you should like challenge a new like sugary-ish cereal from my childhood. But then part of me was like, but you do like the one that you already had, and I don't know how much of this is like pushing my comfort zone versus picking what I actually like. And then the whole like money thing and the fact that they were all family sized, and then it gets stale. But anyway, all the various thoughts, and then I literally listened that afternoon to a podcast of someone basically describing the exact same experience. One really interesting thing that I found is a lot of the ED recovery accounts, especially the podcasts that I've been listening to, are by like British girls, which is something really interesting, but a lot of them mirror my thoughts like exactly, which is insane. One of the things I was thinking about this morning, which would be really interesting to study, is like, okay, this is so cancelable, but like eating disorders in the Jewish population. Because there's a lot of evidence of like epigenetics, and especially if you're like grandparents or so, or even great grandparents many generations ago went through times of like famine or like really big time hardship, like the Holocaust, that affects descendants multiple generations down the line. And I know in my case, like I have family that were like Hungarian Jews fleeing the Holocaust. I suspect a lot of my food issues kind of come generationally from that. Also considering the fact that I have a younger sibling who's had food issues longer than I have. It's definitely a family thing, and the degree to which severe famines or times of crisis multiple generations ago could affect that would be really interesting. I also know a lot of friends, actually slightly older than me, or even adults during my childhood, who were Jewish and also struggled with pretty severe eating disorders. Anyway, that's day 10. Take care.